Hey, this is Nicholas with the Backyard TARDIS, here continuing on with my Nightmare Cars. This one was a very profitable job, but kind of at a big cost. So I got called out to rekey a Dodge Caliber. Now, to rekey a car is to pull all the locks and change them to a different key. I was also going to reprogram the key so that the old keys in no way would work or open the car doors on this car. Dodges are pretty straightforward. They're very, very standard, very easy. However, I'd never done a Dodge Caliber before, and they were coming from another city going to drive over to meet me because all the locksmiths in that city were either unwilling to do it or were ludicrous amounts of money. And so I was kind of like, maybe there's something I don't know. So I did charge a little bit on the extra, but they were still like thrilled with my price, that I was like super cheaper and that most people weren't even willing to do it. And so, they drove about an hour to meet me, and it was 105 out, and I met them in what used to be the Kmart building. It's an empty building, which means it was a barren parking lot, empty in the sun, but it also meant that, I wouldn't have to wear a mask or anything because I'd be there by myself. And the amount of work I had to do to get these door locks out, like I had to remove the window track, and it was just an insane amount of stuff that I had to remove, additional paneling on the inside of the door. The first door lock took me about an hour and a half to get out. Just like constantly racking my brain. What do I need to take out next? What do I need to take out next? Now, I did the other door probably in about 45 minutes. The trunk came out super easy. There was nothing difficult about the trunk. And then I got to the ignition, and I called them up and said, hey, I need to go to the gas station, use the restroom, get a drink, cool off for a moment. So I'm going to lock the car up, and I'm going to come back and do that. They were out shopping. She had a friend meet her. They were going and shopping, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. How long do you think when you get back? And I'm like, oh, the ignition will only take me 20 minutes. Dodge ignition, super simple, especially when you have a key. You turn it to accessories, poke a little button, pops right out. Have it done in no time. Not on a Dodge Caliber. Very different thing. I was removing and unbolting all this stuff, trying to find this hidden hole. Then I found it, and I'm poking in it, nothing. And so then I had to create with, I'd taken some key rings and had to create a curved end hook to go in the hole and come back and push the button down. So it had to kind of come in and go like that into the hole. And it's a little teeny hole. And if I did a too thick of a key ring, it wouldn't fit. If I did too skinny of a key ring, it wouldn't have the pressure to do anything. So I just kept messing around. No reference on this. I can't find anything. I'm searching online. I'm searching, locksmith help websites, stuff with my Aloha membership, ClearStar. Nothing on this. And when I finally got it out, once I had it out, the job was easy, but I had taken so much stuff apart, so much stuff off of this, little hidden screws I had to remove and use little wrenches to get to where the screw was to work. I had to put all that back together just to find this hole, because I had to take the transponder ring off to get it, and the transponder ring had 3 hidden, screws that put it on, which meant I had to remove the turn signal to get to those screws. It was just crazy. So the whole thing, I probably spent 4 hours on it. I spent 5 hours on it. Now, I planned on it taking 3 to 3.5 hours. That was my goal. And I had spent 5 hours. It was super hot. Now, as soon as I pulled away, I get a call back and the car won't start. I'm like, we just started it. So I come back around. Well, the car battery had gotten so low that it didn't, the programming didn't set. So I had to go put jumper cables on it, reprogram it again. We let it run for about 10-15 minutes, and then we knew for sure. So now I'm on it for 5.5 hours after all that mess. And So this is my second day of Nightmare Cars. It's super hot. I come get this done, and yeah, I was just done because I had yet another job I was supposed to go do after this, which was just a quick, it was a lady, couldn't get her front door open because she had arthritis in her hand. And so, like, I had to run and do that. But I was supposed to be picking up dinner. And, like, the Chinese restaurant that I was supposed to be picking it up at were closing in, like, 10 minutes. So I had to rush. And I was so drained, so dehydrated, so exhausted from this job. And this is just one of the other reasons why we haven't had a lot of videos. Like, I'm recording it the next day. But yeah, it really got me down. Now, it was a good profitable job, even though it was that, it's still the most money I made for the day. But that's one of the things, is you could have a perfectly nice vehicle, everything checks out, should be standard, and then you find out it's not. Now, had I been out there to make a key for it, I would have never discovered this because I have a reader tool. I would have never had to pull a lock out. If I did, I would have pulled the trunk lock out, which was super easy. But as rekeying the car, having to pull each of the door locks out and the ignition out, I discovered, like, this was vastly different than 90% of the Dodge Chrysler products I work on. But that's just the surprises you get in the automotive locksmithing. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a good day, and I'll catch you in the next video.